He wanted the best for you, and he wanted the best from you. Hard work was his path to success. I've read a lot of comments this week from people that said Eldon gave them their first job they ever had. And whether it be in sales, service, parts, receptionist, the wash bay, Eldon was especially fond of young people, and he gave a lot of people their first job while they were still in high school or right out of high school. And a lot of those people have gone on to have very, very successful careers, not just in the car business, but in other businesses. And a lot of them I've seen this week would say things like, Eldon was the best boss they ever had. And a lot of these people have worked at a lot of other places, and it goes back to Eldon was the very best, their favorite boss. And I think a lot of that work ethic was instilled in all of us, and that's what helped make us successful. And Eldon was a very nice, caring, kind, and funny guy. We all know that. That big laugh, that big smile was bigger in life. But I think sometimes Eldon doesn't get enough credit for being the businessman that he was. You know, Eldon didn't have a college degree, no education past high school. He was self-made, but he taught me things that you won't find on campus at a business college anywhere in the country. They don't teach the stuff that Eldon taught us. The number one thing that Eldon taught us was take care of your people. He took very good care of his people. And the second thing he told me was, Ron, always take care of your public, and they will take care of you. If you take care of your people and you take care of your public, they will take care of you. But Eldon went on to explain that the public wasn't just the customer, it was the community. And he knew if you took care of the community, that everybody would prosper. And the family has these Time magazines up here. And every year that you win the Toyota President's Award, they put an advertisement in Time magazine. And when Eldon first came back to our dealership, winning the President's Award was very important to him. And I did every damn thing I could do to make sure that we did it for him. We were the first dealership in the history of the Toyota region to go through a buy-sell and win the President's Award the first year. And I don't know how many there are up here, 7, 8, maybe 10, but each one of these things signifies something that was done in the community. And each year we would sit down and we would start listing things. And you would start with one or two things, and then you'd have a whole list. You could only pick one. And one that comes to mind to me the most is when we had the Life Watch helicopters here in Hutch. They needed lights so that they could land. And Lacey's pointing, I think one of those is up here. So that you could land a helicopter at night if somebody had a car wreck or something, so those people could get to the hospital. There's a thing in the newspaper, they needed money for that. They were trying to raise money. Eldon called him up and he goes, how much do you need? He wrote the check. They had the lights. That's how he was. That's how he took care of the community. Customer service was number one with Eldon. And he told me one time, some of you guys have heard this, your customers are like your wife. If you don't hug them every day and you don't tell them you love them, somebody else will. He was a great manager of people. He understood how to manage and motivate people. He had a unique way of teaching. And I've been thinking about this all week. And one time, there was a guy in the back washing cars. And I'd go back there, and I couldn't get him to do anything. I was frustrated. This went on for about half a day, and I knew this guy was very special to Eldon. So I just go to his office and said, I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. I can't put up with this. And he just looked at me and he goes, Ron. 3 letters. Takes forever for him to say it. Ron. He starts laughing. He goes, you just don't know how to manage him. I'm like, what the hell? I know how to manage people. He goes, no. He goes, you don't know how to manage him. And that laugh he had, he kind of got up and he did a little deal like that. He goes, follow me. He goes, but at the end, I don't want you to say a word. So we walked down there and I'm thinking, yeah, what's he going to show me here, you know? So he goes back there to this certain employee, tells him the same thing that I'd said. And he turns around and he goes, turn around, walk with me. And the guy's in the back, he's still chirping. We get halfway through the shop, Eldon stops. He goes, what did you learn? I said, I don't think I learned a damn thing. What are we talking about here? He goes, that guy likes to get the last word. He will always get the last word. You have to tell him what to do. You have to turn around. You have to walk off. And when you do that, he will do the job, and he will do it better than anybody in this dealership. And Eldon knew that, and he knew how to get things done. There was another time when there was a business that they had a practice that I couldn't understand. And I sat in Eldon's office, and that's where I felt most at home. I said, how the hell can they do that? How does that work? He goes, Ron, it's like a boat wake. Eldon, a boat wake? He goes, yeah. He goes, business is like you're in a boat on the lake, and you're going full speed. He goes, but you got to be prepared. As long as you're running, you're outrunning that wake. But you've got to be prepared when that boat stops, because that wake is going to hit you. And I can't say the other word, but you know where he said. He's where it's going to hit you. He said, they'll be fine until that happens. He goes, we got to be different. There's not a business college in America that will talk about a boat wake. Now, as good a businessman as Eldon was, he was also very frugal. I see some of the guys up here that we sold with Eldon, and he hated sales spiffs. He told me I spiff people too much, and if you spiff people a lot, they would quit working hard. But we had a sales meeting one Saturday morning. Eldon was there, and he wants to give out a sales spiff. And I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. So he tells the guys, for every car you sell today, you get to roll 2 dice. Some of you remember this. And for every dice you roll, for every point you get, I'll pay you $1. I walked up and whispered in Eldon's ear. I said, you realize the best that they can do is a roll of 12, and that's just $12. He turned to look at me real serious. He goes, you think that's too much? And that's the way he was. That's just the way he was. A lot of people this week have talked about Eldon as a father figure, and that he was. A lot of people have called him a mentor, and that he was. But to me, that's not how I saw Eldon at all. I saw Eldon as a brother. Because you see, you can fight with your brother, and we did. You can disagree with your brother, and we did. But no one else better fight with your brother, because you'll have his back and he'll have your back. And we always had each other's back. You can disappoint a brother, and he'll forgive you. You can be yourself with your brother, And you can communicate with your brother without ever saying a word. I could look at Eldon, he could look at me, and we kind of knew where we were. You can make your brother proud, and you can be proud of your brother. You respect your brother, love your brother, and E, I love you. Eldon loved his family, he loved his grandkids, and he absolutely adored Kim. Without a doubt, she was the love of his life. And in closing, I'd like to thank Kim